Hello everybody, this is Cleanmore 4500, and today I'm going to do a remake of what would happen if Treyarch were to replace zombies with robots from the Black Ops. And, hey, and you're about to say, this is a pretty far-fetched video. You think that Treyarch would never do something like this. But, I understand that. I think that's pretty clear, but I'm going to continue anyway. So, let's continue. Now, on the one hand, it would if this is a personal theory, fun theory of mine. Now, if I were in charge of the decision making, I would do so. I'm not a big fan of zombies anymore. But if Treyarch were to do this, then it would pretty be sweet for me. But this video is about zombies being replaced with robots, so let's get on with it. On the one hand, I would see some big lore changes. The first one obvious key lore change I would probably see is the lore to the real Earth being destroyed. I would see a retcon where the new antagonist, an AI called Codex, uses special machinery hidden beneath the ground to prevent Earth's destruction and kill all the zombies. Well, most of them anyway. I would still have you see many zombies, some zombies in dense area in desolated areas. But other than that, most of the enemies would just be robots. And I would pick the 4 main characters. Well, 10 main characters, not 4. Those would be Sean, Sam, Cody, Olivia, Zach. Well, that's Sean. That's Sam, Cody, Zach. Okay. Well, Zach, Emily, Elizabeth, and you name it. But the 2 primary characters would be Sam and Sean. Well, the primary character would actually be Sean. He has a backstory that, I'm not going to go into that. So, the 10 main characters of the story, they would be, they'd be the leader. They would be trying to survive in a desolated Earth, not only from these robots and the surviving deceased, but also another faction called the Surviving Empire. Well, no, it would be called the New Empire. They'd be fighting both Codex and a civilization called the New World Empire, led by Emperor Locus. Locus would be the emperor, and he'd be the most powerful man in the world. Not the most powerful AI, but he would be powerful nonetheless. But I would say, in this theory, my own theory, he gets killed he dies in the second game No, he dies in the fifth installment with this new game mode, and he dies and his empire falls to pieces. So now after the fifth installment with this game mode, with the New World Empire out of the way, now the survivors, which is the faction Sean is in, have to survive against Codex and try to take it out. It's a powerful AI, a computer AI at that. One that has been a nemesis of someone we all probably well know. I'm not going to give it a name here, but it's a she. And it's someone that we probably all know well. And this she has been around since Call of Duty World at War. Those are all my hints. If you know who that is, let me know in the comments down below. Because I know who it is, don't worry. I really know who this is, because with all the hints. So, and Sam is the secondary protagonist. She is unrelated to Sean, and is just Sean is Sean's secondary. She doesn't fully agree with Sean's ideas, but she goes with his support anyway. And really, Sean has his own backstory, but we'll find out in the later installments, like probably 8, 9-ish, or 10-ish, that he is the grandson of a doctor from Black Ops 3. Zombies, of course. That he is their grandson. I'm not going to give a name here, so you'll have to take things with a grain of salt. So, and the survive. I'm going to go over the factions. Okay, so the first faction is going to be the survivors. The survivors are a group of remaining civilians, a large group of remaining civilians that are trying to survive and protect themselves from the new world. This new world, of course, that has almost no zombies left, and is now being overloaded with robots. And they're trying to take these robots out, as well as another faction called the New World Empire, that is trying to rule the planet. So, and now in the later installments, the survivors obtain their own robot army and navy, like Codex has, and they actually use it to good, to try and prove that robots are not really evil. It's just some are. It just depends on their programming. And they start using the robots to try and prove that, and it gets people's attention, and it gets them to like robots better, and to be more cautious with robotics, but to still trust it to its core, of course. Now, onto the surviving empire. Onto the New World Empire. The New World Empire is a faction descended from the scientists of Group 935. They've been around since before the incendiary missiles hit the Earth. And this group is dedicated to trying using their powers to rule the world, because they feel that democracy can't be trusted. And their latest emperor, Emperor Locus, is tyrannical, and he's a terrible leader. He makes poor decisions, he's a brutal tyrant, and he doesn't listen to anyone. It's just his way for the highway. And if nobody agrees, they die. And it's pretty cruel. It's just like the Galactic Empire from Star Wars. Except it's more deadlier. It's more... These guys are more evil. And they're more like Sith. On to Codex. Oh, okay. Oh, I forgot. And probably, like, I would say in the 5th installment of the new game mode, the Emperor would be killed and the Empire would fall to pieces, and remnants would join the survivors to try and retake their land back. I would say that'd be probably acceptable-ish, but I would just go with it. Now, on to the next enemy, Codex. Codex is the real main enemy of the new game mode. The main antagonist. Its plan is to try and undo the damage that humanity has done to itself by destroying humanity and populating the planet with robots instead. How this would go is unknown to say, but for the fun of the theory, I would say that Codex is trying to wipe out all humanity to try and undo the damage that the Ultimus group had done to Earth. As Codex ends up thinking that that it's humanity that did this, not missteps. And Codex is a very powerful computer AI, not a human being. It is not even a zombie. It is just a plain super AI. A dangerous one at that. And if Codex is in control, there's no way for anyone to ever fail. As that's what Codex believes. Now, for the one hand, this would probably be crazy, but Sean is trying to eliminate Codex at whatever cost. Because he knows that the entire world is doomed if Codex succeeds. And the Empire, the New World Empire, is trying to do the same, but they want to rule the planet. So basically, Sam, Sean, and his companions have to stop Codex. By any means necessary. And they do this and they have to find a way to defeat Codex. And Codex has its own army of robots, mind you. And Codex has a lot of... And Codex, as I just said, has a history with someone from Call of Duty World at War. And the individual from World at War was originally set out to destroy Codex before it could do anything. Now, it's a female, and it's from Call of Duty World at War. If you know who this is, let me know in the comments down below, because I already know who it is. Now, in a sense, this person is also related, and Sam, if you guys don't know, also has her own backstory. She is related to she seems somewhat related to another entity that is from the I'm not gonna give it here, but it's she is also somewhat related to that same individual from World at War. That's gonna be important later. So probably and say I'm gonna go over I can go over a timeline, my own timeline of how things would play out. So in the first game to have extermination, which is going to be the game mode, I would call it. I would say that it would be the very beginning. We would see the destruction of Earth before it happened. Just before it happens, except it doesn't happen. Codex uses some special machine. But we don't really see these machines or Codex itself. We just see the Earth's destruction getting stopped. Like we just see the destruction ceasing to happen. And then we go by say 10 years later, it pops over to a small densely populated village where Sean and Sam live with their other 8 friends. There will be 8 protagonists. Well, 10 protagonists, adding Sam and Sean. So these 10 protagonists, all humans, consisting, like, say, 5 boys and 5 girls, well, and it would be, and they would each have their own individual personalities. So in the first mission, we would see the village getting attacked by Codex, and the civilians have to evacuate. Once they evacuate, which leads to the second one, the second mission, the second mission, where they are where they are captured, where some of the survivors are captured by this would be captured. These guys, some of these people would be captured by the New World Empire, who are trying to experiment on them and try to create new zombies, more powerful ones. But they fail, and they are forced to create another systematic error system to try and fix their errors. But they fail, and all the survivors survive, and they get away. So, and then the third mission of the first game, I would see a small battle between the survivors and the New World Empire before Codex would show up and join the party with its robots. And it would yeah, basically. And it's the fourth mission, which would probably be the last mission in the first game. We would see, okay, this whole thing would take too long. So, in summary, I think that this whole that extermination. If Treyarch were to replace zombies with robots, I would like it, actually. I would think about it. I would go back to it. I would go back to, okay. As I said, as I'm gonna admit right now, extermination takes place in the Ether storyline. I would say, as of now, it would occur occur during Cold War zombies, as obviously these, the Primus, Ultimus, and possibly Victus crews are in some other Earth, not the Earth that we are all comfortable with, that I've been talking about. But I would see these three crews, and Samantha, and Dr. Maxis, come back to this Earth later down the line in the extermination storyline. Probably to figure out, they probably just come here wondering why Earth wasn't destroyed. As in, what I'm talking about is, how did Earth not get destroyed? And Earth would probably be, it would probably be crazy if, okay, so, I keep getting off track on myself, I apologize, but, I would see, I would see, okay, so, the three crews, probably come back to the moon to look for an artifact to see if something was missing or not, and they out of the blue, see Earth, and they're like, what? And Samantha would be like, but my father destroyed the Earth. How is this possible? Well, what happened was Codex. Codex stopped the destruction of Earth. Because it's a very dangerous AI. And it's pretty smart. And that the reason Codex was able to stop the destruction of the Earth is because of its backstory. We will find out its backstory a bit down the line. I would say that Codex has a history with someone. Like, it would have a history with someone completely new, like Sean is. And this person is the person who actually created Codex. And Codex Codex would like this individual. He would see them as a friend, their only friend, because they created them, and they would be best buddies. But this person would be around by the time the incendiary missiles fell as well, and even after, like even in Black Ops 2. But and then and Codex is able to detect Dr. Max's attempt to destroy the Earth. So Codex informs this person, and the person gives out the order to stop the Earth's destruction. And using a special machine built into the ground, they managed to stop it. And they then set out to recolonize Earth by any means necessary to try and fix the damage that the Ultimus crew had ultimately done to Earth with those missiles. They do a lot of things. They first go after the zombies. They send their robots out to kill the zombies. And the robots do just that. They wipe out all the zombies, and they create And they create special checkpoints for the robot army, which allows them to respond quickly. They first try to help the people of the Empire, but when they were as tyrannical as they were, they abandoned them and moved on to other things. They moved on to the actual recolonization of Earth. They wiped out almost all the zombies using a new medical potion called Cerealium vitamin regenerative indigestive example, or CVRAE. They use CVRAE to destroy all the element 115, which causes most of the zombies to die out, and only some remain. As for the robots, they become the new main enemy because the main antagonist is Codex, and that is because Codex is trying to recolonize Earth by order of its master by any means necessary. Whether that means killing a bunch of civilians, so be it. It's its orders, it must follow them, no matter the cost. This would be pretty crazy, but Codex would be the last villain to fall in Extermination, by my standards. And Codex would probably be the killer. I don't want to go into any more things here, but I have to say that this whole extermination thing would be immense. I can go over many more videos about this. Let me know in the comments down below if you want any more videos about extermination, which is my own game mode. We do not know if it's coming out. I just made it up, really. So it's probably unlikely that this new game mode would come out because it's me made, basically. But yeah, let me know in the comments down below if you'd like to see more about my fan-made game mode. With all that said, thank you for watching. Be sure to click the subscribe button and then click the notification bell so you don't miss out on future videos. And as always, take care. I'll see you next time. Claimer 405,000 out. Wait, no. It's Claimer 4,500 out. Peace.